straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, Aussie pacer Mitchell Johnson, in a column, has lashed out at the Indian Cricket Board for what he believes is coercion, forcing other boards to ensure that their star players turn up for the IPL that is set to resume tomorrow after a one-week suspension. What does Johnson say, and is it a fair accusation to make? Barcelona has come a full circle from the shambles it found itself in under their previous manager Javi to now rising like the phoenix. What went right? And who are the chief architects of this superb turnaround? And Neeraj Chopra says his relationship with Pakistan javelin thrower and Paris Games gold medalist Arshad Nadeem won't be the same again. Has the act of terrorism in Kashmir and Pakistan's stubborn act impacted the one brotherhood beyond the borders in sport? How is this going to affect the growth of javelin and athletics itself? But first, the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with football, Cristiano Ronaldo has topped Forbes' list of highest paid athletes for a third consecutive year in a row. Ronaldo's estimated total earnings of around $275 million helped him surpass NBA stars Steph Curry and Tyson Fury, who are second and third. Meanwhile, football ace Lionel Messi dropped to fifth place with $135 million. Inter Miami captain Lionel Messi has been named in Argentina's probable squad for their upcoming World Cup qualifiers. The defending World Cup champions will face Chile and Colombia in June. Messi last played for Argentina in November last year. He's missed multiple fixtures owing to injury since then. And a court in Brazil's Rio ordered the dismissal of Brazilian Football Federation head Ednaldo Rodrigues and his other board members. Ednaldo has been accused of forging a signature on his employment contract. The federation has also been advised to hold fresh elections. In tennis, world number one Jannik Sinner has entered the semi-finals of the Italian Open. He beat Casper Ruud in straight sets, losing just one game en route. He will now face America's Tommy Paul. If Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz win their respective semi-final matches, they will clash in the final. This will be their first meeting since China Open in October last year, which Alcaraz won. In cricket, Bangladesh Cricket Board, or the BCB, has granted a no objection certificate to pacer Mustafizur Rahman. He can now play for Delhi in the IPL 2025. That's only between 18th and 24th of May. There were speculations on whether Mustafizur would take part, as the cricketer is named in Bangladesh's squad for the first T20 international against UAE that's scheduled for the 17th of this month. And India's cricket board, BCCI, is now open to bearing the costs of developing Olympic training centres dedicated to specific sports in India. The cricket board is proposing to adopt 2 or 3 disciplines, a wish they expressed in a meeting with the Sports Ministry of India. The IPL is set to resume tomorrow. It's going to be an emotional game at Bengaluru, with fans guaranteed to storm the Chinnaswamy Stadium to catch a glimpse of Virat Kohli, the superstar of Indian cricket, who's just announced his retirement from Test cricket. Now see, that's what the IPL does, and that's what it means for a cricket lover. It goes beyond the sport. It goes beyond being just a sport. It's an emotion, and that's one of the reasons the BCCI was keen on resumption, and they tried to negotiate with other boards to get their players over. An act that former Aussie pacer Mitchell Johnson called blatant coercion. In a column that Johnson wrote for the West Australian, he was scathing in his criticism of the Indian board. He said they were putting unnecessary pressure on the other cricket boards to make sure they sent their star cricketers to finish the Indian Premier League. But before we go any further, just take a look at one of the things Johnson writes. Let's decode what Johnson writes here. He says, it should end. I mean, does he even realize the implications of it? He also says if it was up to him, he'd have said no, because lives and safety is important. Yes, Johnson, they are in war-torn countries, which India is not. There has not been a single incident, a single event, sporting or cricketing tournament in this country over the last decades that has been disrupted by any incident or untoward action that could have put lives or anyone's security or safety under threat. The IPL is the most lucrative and prestigious cricket tournament in the world today. And it's the main reason every single cricketer all over the world wants to be a part of it. It's why Australians earn the most in this league. I'll do a quick comparison here. The highest paid cricketers in BBL, the Big Bash League, which is Australia's premier T20 tournament, is a maximum of $420,000 that guys like Trent Bolt, Rashid Khan, Marcus Stoinis and Chris Lynn have received. This is the top bracket. Want to know about IPL? The biggest buys here are Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Venkatesh Iyer and Australian Pat Cummins, earning between $2 to $3 million. That's the difference. That's the lure. Johnson himself played the IPL for about 5 years, was paid between $300,000 to $315,000 when he just about wrapped up his stint, 2017 and 2018. But to respond to what Johnson said of being coerced to making a decision, no one is. The Indian board is doing what any organizer of a mega event that promises the big bucks and a solid cricketing experience would do: negotiate hard. It's always the players and the other cricket boards' call to take a final decision. And many have. Even as Mitchell is crying hoarse, his Aussie compatriot, fast bowling namesake Mitchell Starc, has decided not to rejoin Delhi Capitals for what is a crucial stage now for them, as they can make it to the top four and who knows, can even go on to have a dream season with a finale. But they have moved on. BCCI has issued press statements of player replacements. Delhi has gone ahead and picked up Mustafizur as a replacement, and a good one at that. Life goes on because this is the IPL. There are many talented cricketers all over the world, and many would jump at the chance of playing the IPL anytime through the year. Johnson says more, elaborating on the weight of a yes. Yes, I agree. It has to be an individual choice based on what that person feels is right. That's why Cricket South Africa are certain of their plans. Their players, around 8 of them, will not stay back beyond the group stages, which concludes on the 27th of this month, because the WTC, the World Test Championship final, is set to be held between the 11th and 15th June, and they want their players all assembled as early as possible. So where is the need to even go into the psychological repercussions of the decision? And Cricket South Africa has a bigger bond with the BCCI thanks to the SAT20 that IPL franchises have invested in. So where is the coercion here, Johnson? He actually even remarks about this, saying he wonders how CSA would be so firm, defeating his own long argument. But here's what I see. 2 boards doing what they have to do. One doing its best to negotiate like they should for the success of their league, the Premier League now in world cricket. The other doing what's best for theirs, which is getting their players back after the 27th, because for them, working towards winning an ICC title is huge and something that has already been in the works. The plans were already in place. Hence a mutual understanding eventually, even though it may not be the best outcome for the franchises involved in the IPL, but nothing and no one is indispensable, and so replacements are coming in. And the teams know that this situation has hampered everyone equally. So it is, in a way, a level playing field, like playing golf with the same handicap, which only means the team that does its best to bounce back up faster from this adversity more than the others will undoubtedly win. The Champions League might not have returned to Barcelona, but the La Liga title definitely has. Their biggest rivals, Real Madrid, tried to be party poopers in Barcelona's title run till the very end, but they failed just like they did in defending their Champions League title. This despite Madrid's star-studded lineup that was competing against a team of youngsters and a few aging stars. This has marked the club coming a full circle, because just a year ago, Barcelona was in shambles. Sure, they finished second in the Spanish league, but the confidence was missing, the ambition to fight against Real Madrid to be the best club in Spain. And the reason why I say this is because their former manager, Javi, said this before his unceremonious exit.
The situation is very complicated to compete economically. It has nothing to do with what we had 25 years ago, when the coach would come and say, I want this one, and this one. It doesn't work like that anymore. We need stability and time.
He talked about the financial challenges, the crisis. He said Barcelona isn't the same as they were. Javi demanded time and more stability to make Barca great again. In fact, this statement led to a minor friction with the management that resulted in him leaving. But just a year later, here we are. The same Barcelona setup has now been crowned La Liga champions. And against a Real Madrid side that had the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, Vinicius Jr., to name a few. To think Javi just a year ago said it would be difficult for this Barcelona side to challenge for trophies, the La Liga win has just become that much more iconic. Those celebrations and the emotions just say it all. So what really changed? Is it the German influence on the Spanish giants? Hansi Flick came with pedigree, of course. The World Cup winner, Champions League winner. But what he proved at Barcelona is a club steeped in legacy doesn't just need million-dollar signings. All it needs, front and center, is a heart to represent the badge and players who feel proud of playing for Barcelona. And he found that in all the youngsters, a 17-year-old Lamine Yamal, 18-year-old Pau Cubarsí, and 22-year-old Pedri. And he revived some of the other stars too. Experienced players like Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Frankie de Jong weren't performing at their best. What Flick did was simply show trust in them, because this is what they lacked under Javi. He wanted to sign up players, big money players like Real Madrid did. Flick just showed the aging stars that they still had it in them. Now you have Robert Lewandowski back again with 25 goals this season for them. Rafinha chipped in with 18 and Yamal scored 8 in addition to those 15 assists and a massive moral impact on the field. And it isn't just this. They beat Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final. They put up a brave fight against Inter Milan in a semi-final that saw 13 goals being scored. So even when they were bowing out, they were doing so, but with a fight. And according to Flick, the football world hasn't seen the best of Barcelona just yet.
It was a very good level, but I think we have the potential to be even better. With Barca, you have to win titles, and 3 is great. I suffered after the semi-final in Milan. But with 3 titles, I think both the club and the players like me, there's something to be happy about.
The faith Flick has shown now has made financially struggling Barcelona a strong contender everywhere, because when the Ballon d'Or list is out later this year, I'm sure there would be names there. Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. A good old pattern that Barcelona is known for. One of the biggest clubs in the world, dominating UEFA's biggest competition. This is what Barcelona is known for. About 3 decades ago, Liverpool defender Alan Hansen had said you cannot win anything with kids. The same season, Manchester United under Alex Ferguson went on to win the Premier League and established themselves as the biggest club in England. Barcelona 2025 has done exactly that, proving that when kids are out having fun, silverwares are just the byproduct of it all. The friction between India and Pakistan have not only increased tensions in the geopolitical world, but also in the sporting sphere. Following India's retaliation to the terror act in Kashmir's Pahalgam, Pakistan's unwillingness to back down despite the ceasefire agreement only made it worse. And it feels like now even the poster boys of cross-border friendship is at stake. Olympic gold medalist javelin throwers Neeraj Chopra and Arshad Nadeem for years showed that India and Pakistan players can share a sense of brotherhood. But following the Indo-Pak situation now, even that isn't there anymore. Something India's Neeraj Chopra believes. Did the act of terrorism hurt a healthy sporting rivalry that the sport benefited from? Our next report tells you more.
Hindus and Muslims seek safety in new surroundings. Ever since the partition in 1947, India and Pakistan have seen tensions across the border. The last few weeks post the terror attack in Kashmir, India-Pakistan relations have hit a rough patch. The one thing that always united the two nations was sports. The cricket matches between the two have been mega crowd pullers. The biggest rivalry on the planet for years has lived up to it. Some nervy moments, tense exchanges, but above all, a sporting spectacle. And then came a sporting contest between two individuals on the javelin field. India's Neeraj Chopra and Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem. The world witnessed the two push each other in the quest to win silverwares. And in the middle of this fierce competition was born a brotherhood that reignited the sport itself. This moment of Neeraj and Nadeem posing in front of the Indian flag at the Athletics World Championship in 2023 is etched in everyone's memories. Gold medalist Neeraj invited silver winner Nadeem to pose for photos as he was missing the Pakistani flag, a picture that stormed the internet, and the friendship only grew from there to exchanges of tweets and appreciation posts. And it wasn't just restricted to the duo, both their families evoked similar sentiments. Neeraj's mother called Nadeem her own son. She congratulated him when Nadeem beat Neeraj to win gold at the Paris Games. But the recent tensions between India and Pakistan have put a crack in this cross-border friendship too. It all started with Neeraj inviting Nadeem for his International Javelin Classic event in India. This was before the Pahalgam attack. And while the tournament itself is postponed now, Nadeem had already decided to skip the Bengaluru tournament. It led to Neeraj facing the wrath for inviting Nadeem. The extent was such that India's golden boy had to issue a clarification. And the matter didn't end there. Ahead of Neeraj's Diamond League game, he was once asked about his friendship with Nadeem, and he clearly said it would never be the same.
First, we were never really close friends or anything. And things won't be the same after this. But if someone talks to me respectfully, I will reciprocate the respect.
Pakistan's act has not only jeopardized their sporting system, but has also closed doors on any friendship between India and Pakistan. It has hindered a bond that contributed to making athletes and javelin a bigger commodity in both these countries. While Neeraj and Nadeem have competed in 10 events internationally, the Indian ace holds a better head-to-head. He has beaten his Pakistani opponent 9 times, only losing once at the Paris Games. But their rivalry went beyond the results. It made both of them superstars. Neeraj's net worth shot up. He was competing with some prominent Indian cricketers, like Hardik Pandya. Nadeem too had his fair share of recognition. The Pakistan government finally took notice of his brilliance. Awards started pouring in for him too. The buzz was such that India was on the cusp of hosting their first javelin throw event. But this latest point of friction has put an end to all of that. It has impacted the rise of javelin, a sport that was enriched by this rivalry. Sure, the two are likely to meet in international fixtures, but will that be the same?
Time for last serve. Bologna beat AC Milan in the Coppa Italia final to win their first major trophy in 51 years. Jubilant fans couldn't control their excitement and emotion as they took to the streets in a grand celebration. Nothing quite brings people together like sport. But that does it here. I'll, of course, see you after this weekend. Do take care. Bye-bye. At Firstpost, we are choosing to hold on to accuracy. That means we won't always be first. We may not get you your breaking alert. But what you will get is what we owe you. And that is the truth. Verified, checked, and cross-checked. We rely on sources and verified ones. After all, that's what separates a journalist from a loudspeaker. But sometimes even we miss a beat. And when we do, we will tell you. Like yesterday, we ran visuals from a registered news agency. That visual turned out to be fake, so we are taking accountability. And from now on, we will cite the source of every visual, every picture, every video that you see on Firstpost will have a source mentioned. That is our commitment to you. We will wait, we will verify, we will ask again, and only then will we tell you. No noise, no panic, just the facts. Because right now, that is what the country needs most.